communicate to you?
My name is Jeffrey Kightlinger. I was the general manager and CEO of the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, which is the largest water utility in the United States of America, serving 19 million people across Southern California. Hired a month ago after 15 years, and I have, as CEO, and I have joined Cadium as of the beginning of this year. One of the reasons I joined Cadium is I see a big lack of synchronization of data. We are very much working in solo platforms across the United States and certainly in Southern California, where we have retail agencies working with wholesale agencies, working with state agencies, all sharing different platforms of data collection and the management of data. And I do believe there's tremendous strides that can be made in better using data and synchronizing that across all districts. And so that is my hope and interest in joining Cadium, and I very much look forward to doing that. I'm thinking in terms of successful integration of data in the operations of a utility. First, you have to have inter-integration. In most utilities, often the finance department keeps a different set of uh, data than the operating team, than the treatment team, and the capital planning team. And it's even hard, and many of these things then, as they move the data from one set over to another, has to be done manually. These systems don't talk to each other. So the utility needs to be integrated. And then we have to look at how we integrate intra or outside with other utilities. How do we share utilities with other agencies and really communicate with them? And then finally, we need to find a way to get that data into a very usable format for the customer, because we need the customers buy-in and looking at how they can use water more efficiently and more effectively and work with the utility. So that we've been talking about democratization of data, but to my mind, it's really about how to create systems that can talk to each other and integrate them fairly seamlessly so that we can move up to other utilities and down to the customer and always working within the agency itself. I think the number one issue facing utilities going forward is climate change. It is the where the rubber hits the road for water utilities. Climate change is going to drive everything. Obviously, it's not something you're going to tackle and solve in the next 2 to 3 years. I think the challenge of the next 2 to 3 years is coming up with an approach. What is the right planning? And so that's where the data collection and the planning comes in, because we're going to have to make decisions for the next 25 years as a utility to deal with climate change. We need to get started. We need to start making those fundamental planning changes now in the next 2 to 3 years. So it really is coming up with that planning and development approach so that you can lay out the groundwork for that wave of capital investment and that restructuring of your utility to deal with the coming challenges of climate change.